Welcome to the A7FL Games of the Week. We are live from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Despite the wind, despite the rain, we're bringing you the final week of action as the New Jersey Hawks take on the Patterson U in a battle to determine who will be walking out of here with the 6th seed in the East and who will be walking out with the 8th. Big day of A7FL football for you in our final week of the regular season. Out west, we've got our Nevada knockout. We'll go into a little bit more about that later on in the broadcast. I'm Matt Ryan. Big Rob Fabian had a family thing, so he is not with us today. His family's alive, all well, everything's all good, but he had a family obligation. So I'm Vin Scullying it with you today. Taking you through this first game is Corey Hammond, who's usually beside me in these scenarios, is on the field battling for the 6th seed. And let's run through where we are right now in terms of the A7FL playoff seeding. We know one definitive matchup for 2 weeks from now on the return of the A7FL in the first round of the A7FL playoffs. The Renegades and the Crush, a really compelling matchup from a few weeks ago. Here on the Games of the Week, we run that one back as the Crush and the Renegades will face off. But depending on how today turns out, will it be the Hawks? Will it be the U in our first game? If the Hawks win today, and if the BIC win in our 4 o'clock matchup, the U and the BIC, the 8 and the 1 seed, will face off the Heathens and the Animals, and then the Hawks and the Watchmen. That would be the first round of action in the East, along with Crush and Renegades. And folks, people are making their way onto the field here in Asbury Park as action continues in the A7FL today. We've got action out west as the Gold will take on the Insomniacs. That game will begin live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on A7FL.TV and also on YouTube. Let's go through the matchup history between the Hawks and the Patterson U. They have faced off 3 times in A7FL regular season history. First matchup in 2018, the U got the win. The next time these two teams would face off was in the 2020 A7FL Championship, where the U would get a dominant win, their first one of back-to-back titles, where they would win 49-7 over the Hawks. That team helmed by Corey Price going up against Quattrell Huffin. But in 2021, the regular season, the U would not allow the Hawks to get on the board. It's a 3-0 run for these two teams as we take a look at some highlights from the Hawks. Corey Hammond is a real right, slinging that pill. Zariel Wright last week had a showcase performance. Despite that 27-14 loss last week, 10 catches, 184 yards, and 2 touchdowns, nearly tying Zariel Wright. The all-time record in receptions, was 1 away from tying it. But what an afternoon for Zariel Wright against the Animals. But it's going to be a question of, can Delron Simmons show up? We saw him show up and show out early on in the season, whether as wide receiver or at running back, trying to get him the ball, trying to create those opportunities. And Bebo Rios, a guy who is a wide receiver or quarterback, can make a lot happen with his legs. But it will depend on this team today to get through a defiant Patterson U team. Walking into today 2-3, both of these teams with the win today would get them to 500 and the 6th spot. Corey Hammond looking to end this season at 500. He's had some solid weapons, but the offensive line has been a problem for this Hawks offense all season. They have to get the ball out quick, and they have to find ways to just move very fast. As we take a look at some of the Patterson U B-roll, as they walking into this season, a lot of people thought the Patterson U may fall behind the Silk City Animals and Baltimore Watchmen. They might lose to one of those teams, but falling to both has set the U up at 2-3. Their loss to the BIC as well. It has not been a fun run for this Patterson U squad, who have had questions and rotated in different people at quarterback. The Patterson U, their last game against the BIC was all the way back in week 3. Since week then, they've had a bye, and then with the Easter break, the U have to have an opportunity here to get a big win. The longest time the U went without playing was the last time a team went out. Sorry, this is from Cole Gardella. The last time a team that went that long without playing, that's 5 weeks, was the BIC in 2023. And in their first game back, it was the Goodnight Moon game of the second round of 2023's playoffs, to where the U eliminated the BIC in a controversial showdown. Well, anytime the BIC and the U face off, especially this season, as you take a look at highlights of that game, that one's going to be, it's always controversial, but this one took the cake in 2023. This game is going to depend on what's the momentum that you can establish on offense. Where is the run game going to be? Where is the depth at running back? Will we see the D-Train? Will we see Hardbody? Will we see Marcus McKinney? We'll answer these questions and more when we throw it off, when we return. It's the battle for the 6th seed. Who will be battling the top seed in the East, and who gets a reprieve? We find out on the other side of this. It's the Games of the Week. Back live on the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, and this is brought to you by Scene. Unlock the potential of your content, whether to monetize it or get the most out of that data. See what it's done. See what it can do at a7fl.tv right here, right now, for absolutely free. Or if you want to see what it can do for you and your business, scan the QR code now. That's Scene, SEEN.com, or scan the QR code now. Matt Ryan here with you on the Games of the Week. And the weather has made people a little trepidatious. They're trickling in like the raindrops here in Asbury Park. But folks, don't worry. We've got football for you all afternoon long at 4 o'clock on Triller TV Plus, on DAZN internationally, also on Fox Soul, and also Fight 24/7 presented by Triller. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, hi, how you doing? Go to a7fl.com/chat and come hang out with us, because the BIC and the Watchmen will battle for the 1 seed in the East. And these two teams have not faced off yet this year, but this is the definitive matchup for the top spot in the East, and the Trenton BIC are not playing games. We've heard rumors all season. We've heard rumors from multiple seasons that Mark Bagway and company would be on the way. But before we get to that, let's talk about Carlos Crosland. One of the last times we saw the Baltimore Watchmen in Asbury Park, they had an epic performance from this man, an interception, a touchdown, and also just behind center, a guy who's a former Patterson U quarterback and a guy who stepped up in his return to Baltimore this season. One of the best gadget players, one of the best multi-hyphenate players in this league, no matter how you slice it. Carlos Crosland, when you give that man time, space, and a place, he can make things like this happen and create opportunities for his team no matter the situation. But as the action continues here, Crosland's going to have to be a big weapon for Baltimore today. Him and Ant Mo, the wide receivers, a lot of people are looking at the BIC secondary a certain way, and Nick Mays, the tight end, is going to be a big weapon. And then the quarterback controversy. Will it be OG Buck? Will it be Ace Boogie? Who will be leading the charge for Baltimore today to put men like that? Marcellus Pack, one of the most dangerous returners in the league. And then this Baltimore defense is ready. They are looking for a shot, but this BIC offense, one of the highest scoring teams in the A7FL, returning to Asbury Park for another undefeated regular season. The last 2 times they went undefeated, they made their way to the championship, but they're looking on the door for chip number 3. But can Worthy and Codrington pull it together one more time? Kason Campbell has stepped up this year. He might be my candidate for MVP. But Sterry Codrington, a 22-0 touchdown to interception ratio. 69% completions on over 130 passes thrown. A lot of them thrown to that guy, Ashante Worthy. This is the offense that you want to tell your friends about. This is the type of team that you will be writing. And look at Trey Cohen. Look at the athletics. If you have never seen the A7FL before today, or if you have a friend that's a little trepidatious about no helmets football, where it's 7-on-7, no pads, no helmets, they're a little scared. Show them Ashante Worthy. Tell them, yo, 4 o'clock. Send them the platforms. Go to a7fl.com/watch. But you get to see dots like that. Plays like that to a guy like Kason Campbell, who's broken records. These are 3 men who have broken or tied their own records in a game in this season at least twice. So at 4 o'clock, when you throw in Mark Bagway and Deontay Henderson, the two guys who held Baltimore at bay 2 seasons ago in the Eastern Conference Chip. The team that took the Insomniacs to the wire a season ago. And there's my man, Corey Hammond. We're going to see what happens at 4 o'clock. And I myself, and you can hear it in my voice, I'm excited. But I'm also excited for this man right here, Corey Hammond. Let me tell you why. 6 years ago, I stepped into this booth for the very first time in a snack stand in Roselle, New Jersey. And Corey Hammond was the person sitting next to me. And in that time, I cannot think of someone who deserves a Gator Tech shiesty more than anybody in the world. And if you need protection on or off the field, get protected by Gator Tech. This is brought to you by Gator Tech. Get more protected on the field with the Gator Skin Shiesty, shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%. This protective shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit g8rtech.com and use the code A7FL25 for 10% off today. Or just scan the QR code. Save yourself some time. Matt Ryan here with you, pregame festivities, as both sides get ready for the coin toss. But to see Corey Hammond with a chance to jump to the 6th seed, probably the highest seed he's had in an A7FL playoff in quite a long time, and see him get the opportunity for a run would be pretty special. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But if you want to keep talking to me, if you want to be my broadcast partner today, you can do it for absolutely free by going to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. Download the Locker Room Chat app for absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. You can grab it. Come hang out with me and my buddies here in the chat. We got Booby Miles in here. We got Diego. We've got players. We've got team managers. We've got podcasters. Mizzle from the Mizzle and Dub Show in there, and we want you there as well. If you're watching the game and you want to talk about what's going on, or you want to make fun of my hat, or you want to make fun of my jacket, I'm not wearing a hat or a jacket, but if you want to make fun of them, go on ahead and go to a7fl.com/chat. As we roll on here in the A7FL, we are off next week for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to every single person who observes. But we'll be back the week after for the A7FL playoffs. And folks, the playoffs right now, we talked about some of the potential matchups earlier, but I want to know what matchup you're looking forward to the most. Go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. And let us know what you think, what your picks, what your predictions are. That you will get the ball first by virtue of the coin toss we just saw before. But for the Patterson U, there's a lot of questions with not a lot of answers. Who will come in as quarterback today? We've seen a lot of people rotate in. Will we see Quattrell Huffin return on a rainy day in Asbury? What precautions is Ryan Shamar going to take to ensure that his team has the best shot at making a deep run in the playoffs? Because we've seen the talent there. The level of D1 athletes on this Patterson U squad on offense and defense this year is probably one of the most talent-rich rosters in terms of resume and pedigree we've seen in this league in quite a long time. And there you see Zariel Wright, who had almost a record-breaking day last week. And there you see the Malherm of Pedro Bauzo, as the Hawks will get set to throw this one off in Asbury Park. You see the wind, the rain are going to play a heavy factor into this game. We saw that play a bit of a factor a couple of weeks ago when the Animals and the Hawks faced off. But how much of it will come into play today as we are live and we are loud at the most exciting play in football for the Patterson U. And here's an opportunity for a return. Cuts to the 50, jumps inside and gets a solid return, but will be brought down by Wright and one more. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Patterson U. That return by Umar Butter Lewis, former Trenton BIC wide receiver and returner. His first year in Patterson. As the U will take the ball. And 1st and 10. Matt Ryan here with you on the A7FL Games of the Week. My producer, as always, Alex Soberman. My director today, David Soberman. And also our highlights producer and the person who keeps me hilariously entertained for no real reason at all, Zach Morgan. Stats and info producer, Cole Gardella, running the show in Asbury. And there he is, Quattrell Huffin. Deciding to go Johnny Storm, put the flames on. As you see the dot boss as well, number 2. Huff back in action. 1st and 10, the handoff. Immediate trouble, but here comes an opportunity for the Trenton BIC. That's number 20 pushing it downfield. That's Willie Mayweather, Willie Easterling, going over 20 on the carry, and it'll be 1st down. Willie Mayweather walking him down, getting a better result than Ryan Garcia did right here on the zone. Not as good as Canelo Alvarez. And right now, if you went over to Spark It, you'd be probably trying to push that Patterson U line. Go to A7FL Fantasy Football. Go to A7FL.com for updates on how you can win some contests. Win some cash, maybe. From our friends at Spark It. There's the toss again to Easterling. Trying to trap him on 1st and 10. Trips him up. Gets him down a little bit of husseration. But a moderate carry, if not a loss. It will be 2nd down. Trying to go a little well there. You see Big Angry Garcia in on the tackle. CT, you mean the U. Yes, I mean the U. This is what happens when you're just talking to yourself into a void. And we see Easterling here on the toss. And you see, he just gets the athleticism to keep up and just drop in number 19. But not what you want at all coming off of that first huge gain. Huff might have to shake it up here on 2nd and 10. No gain on that play. Huff makes some adjustments at the line, moves number 54. The handoff, and that's over to number 15. Umar Lewis gets the call again, and it will be 3rd down. Garcia in on the tackle along with the Malherm. There you see Pedro Bauzo. After not being able to get that first stop, the Hawks defense standing firm on 1st and 2nd down. We'll see here again, Garcia finding his man. Just watch that follow through there. Gets him, tackles him a little high. Checked if he was wearing a collar and tie. But it will be 3rd and 6 with 11:58 left to go in our first quarter. Umar Lewis set up to the left. The snap. Huff will throw it over to Lewis. Lewis will get to the sideline and will get near the 1st down marker. They will call him out at the 6. And it will be 1st down. Waiting for the, and it'll be 1st and goal for Patterson after the quick throw out to Lewis. And 11:23 left to go. Wonder what Huff will do here. You've got the big body of the dot boss, Markeith Williamson. See what he could be able to do. Big bodies on the line for Patterson. Oh, correction, it's 4th and 1. After they checked it, it's 4th and 1. Huff will keep it. He tosses it back. Gets the 1st down, but can they get the... Ooh, they cannot get into the end zone. But a snap German suplex off of the carry. gives the U and Tyron Brown the first down. The Honey Badger on the carry with 10:46 and counting here in our first quarter. Matt Ryan here with you on the A7FL. Games of the week. Huff gets to the big man. Can they do anything? They are dragged beyond the initial line of scrimmage and dragged back to where the last first down marker was. That one by Deshaun Johnson, a.k.a. Deshaun Johnson. And gets sent all the way back. They tried to do a bit of a thick boy tutty, but get pushed all the way back. And the Hawks defense scouted it, found it. No thick boy tutty, no chance to throw that one to Huff. And it'll be second and an uncomfortable amount, as the U just need to get this into the end zone, but start where they were before that Umar Butter Lewis first down. Pardon me, that Tyron Brown first down. But Umar Lewis gets the ball now. He sets up, tries to get something going, but again, the Hawks defense answered a call on second down, and it'll be third and long with the ball now at the 15. The U offense, after that huge first chunk of yardage by Willie Easterling, have been stopped at the door. And without a quick move to the Honey Badger on 4th and 1, we might see the Hawks with the ball, as over 5 minutes and now almost 6 minutes, over 6 minutes now gone by in this first Patterson U drive. From the 15 on 3rd and goal, Huff with time throws this one up, caught, brings it in, touchdown, Patterson. And that again going over, that's over to number 4. That's Jamel Johnson on the catch. Touchdown for the U, as they will take a 6-0 lead. We take a look again here. Gets right up. Horrible mismatch, as the Hawks not able to get that one going. Unable to get the block, unable to get the body over the ball. So it will be the U going for, and you can see that defensive line of the Hawks, they're breathing a little heavy here after giving it all they had. In the A7FL, you can go for 2 from the 10 or 1 from the 5 and a flag on the field.
Flag on the field is for a delay of game on the offense.
Delay a game on the Patterson U. So now they'll have to go for 2 from the 15. But we just saw in that last play from Patterson, they're able to get things done, as it'll be new man in, a quarterback. Here's the opportunity for 2, and that one will be thrown into the deep blue nothing. That is the Asbury end zone, but the U strike first with 8:48 left to go. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, it's the most exciting play in football. Who will return it for the Hawks as they try to tie this one up? We'll find out. It's the U6. Hawks get the ball next. Back live with the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, and this game is brought to you by TPG Sports. You want custom athletic uniforms for athletes of all sports and ages, or you want a custom A7FL uniform for you, your friends, your family? Maybe rep the A7FL wherever you go. Go to tpg-sports.com or scan the QR code now and get custom athletic uniforms for you and get the thing you see on the field. Right there from TPG Sports. And there's the beauty shot. Yeah, that's what I love. That's the good stuff right there. Corey Hammond looking to Haktua on the Patterson U defense. After the U generated a point in the end zone to make it 6-0. It'll be Zuriel Wright. That one thrown off by number 7. Now you're best, and now an opportunity for Wright. Wright will cut to the outside. Zuriel Wright tries to hustle him. He gets around him. Oh, can't get him because he jumped off the sideline. Impressive footwork from Zuriel Wright, but that will start them at their own 30. Not a lot more room to work for Hammond and the offense. Winner of this game walks out of today with the 6th seed. Team who falls will be the 8th seed. 12th scoring offense in the league. 7th scoring defense, the Hawks so far this year. 11th in net points. The going up against the 14th scoring defense in the It'll be 1st and 10 for Hammond and the Hawks. Apologies, I coughed. I hit the button, and it didn't hit back. But it'll be 8:03. I'll go through those stats again since you missed them. The U with the lowest-ranked scoring defense in the Eastern Conference, especially in the Northeast. They are not in a great position. They're a 14th scoring defense. They've allowed 44 points per game, but when you go up against the Watchmen, the BIC, and the Animals, that's a tough test for anybody. 7:53 left to go in motion. The snap. Pardon me, they didn't play the Watchmen, but Hammond throws this one deep. Wide open. Here's a chance. First down. And just like that, they turn the tide, get the first down. And Hammond lets it rip. What a play there from Corey Hammond. Let's take a look again at the replay. An exceedingly increasing amount of time, and then just right into the hip pocket. That's Tyshawn Robinson on the reception. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Hammond, no one in the backfield, man in motion. That's Wright. Wright will keep it. Tries to get around number 99. Moderate gain. And that's Jihad Carson, a.k.a. Cannon, on the stop. So it'll be 2nd and 9. Actually, 2nd and 7. Sharp gain. And the weather is going to be a big question for the remainder of the day with rain in the forecast. We'll see how that affects the offenses of both teams. We saw Hammond unleash the cannon in the run game of the U with Willie Easterling. Set up both on early points of this first drive. For either squad, 6:20 left to go. Screen from Hammond immediately met by the defender, and he will be brought back and brought down beyond the initial line of scrimmage. Now is number 54, Benjamin Watson, in on the tackle. A.K.A. Big Munch. And you can see he might enjoy a big lunch, much like your boy Matt Ryan. But off the screen, just track. Oh, no, that wasn't 54. That was number 15 on the tackle, Umar Lewis. But Watson got there, and did a bit of the Jordan pose. And he comes up a little, might have pulled a bit of a muscle there. Amir Chick Morris, former A7FL champion. Knows that Patterson you quite well. The snap. Hammond on 3rd and 12. Throws this one. That's caught by Wright. Zuriel Wright drags it to the 30. It'll be 4th down. But an impressive play nonetheless. As Wright keeps the drive alive. And it'll be 4th and a respectable distance with 5:05 left to go in our first quarter. Right now, we've seen the passing game has worked for Hammond, but the defense of the U have been able to churn it around and get not a lot, make him make quick decisions. It's 4th and 2. As we see Willie Easterling set the table on the first play of the game. Zuriel Wright trying to get 1 yard. He gets more, but a flag on the field. And it'll be a 1st down. But if it's on the Hawks, it'll be 4th and uncomfortable. Big stop and tackle there. We'll take a look again at the replay. Just comes right there, just plows through the line, and then chases him down. We'll see what the flag is.
Flag on the field was for a holding on the Hawks.
And it seems like 4:25 left to go. The snap, and it'll be 4th and 12. 4th and 11 to throw. Tipped. Caught by Zuriel Wright. It tips into his hands, and he will not be denied. And he will extend it to the 7. What a play by Zuriel Wright. I don't know what the call was to set up 4th and 11. But on 4th and 11, a tip ball into the hands of an incredible asset, the most valuable Hawk, the MVH, Zuriel Wright. Makes this one tipped up in the air and then just pulled right into his pocket. And you can see the dejection from the man who tipped it. He had him and then he lost him. Number 12 in on the tackle, Kenneth Stewart, the young bull. But 1st and goal for the Hawks, and Zuriel Wright, he's putting the team on his back. 1st and goal. Watch for the pressure off the edge there on the right side of your screen. The handoff, no Hammond to the end zone. One hand can't get there, no flag. Umar Butter Lewis strapping him up in the child seat to take him to the fair. And it will be 2nd and goal. The clock continuing to run here in the A7FL. If you've never joined us before, 15-minute quarters. The clock only stops on an incomplete pass or the ball going out of bounds under 2 minutes in the 2nd and 4th quarter. So right now, Corey Hammond and the Hawks offense need to move fast. Hammond, great yards today. Nice yardage, nice completion percentage, 4 for 5, 69 yards on this first drive. 2:40 left to go. Watch Umar Lewis there. Could be spying to take him out. The snap. Hammond in trouble. Throws. Caught by Bauzo. And that one won't be a gain, but that will be better than a sack. Hammond risking it all. The gunslinger. Off the back foot. But with 2:18 left to go, that'll get him near the 5. They'll mark him at the 6.5. And it'll be 3rd down. Take a look again at the replay. They knew he was going to pass it. No check down, no running back. But he had Bauzo right there. He was throwing it while he was running back. Not a lot of chance to make that a clean pass. But enough to make it a completion and keep the drive alive. We see here again on the replay. 3rd and goal, minute 41 left to go to throw to the end zone. Can't get it. And there's a flag. Looks like Tyron Brown on the coverage. Brown on Amir Morris. And it will be a chance for new life again for the Hawks. With 94 seconds, it was holding on the defense. Defensive holding gets him here, and Hammond almost got that one, but Amir Morris being fitted for a new TPG Sports uniform there by Brown. But it'll be 1st and goal, another slated downs for Hammond.
Ball on the 4-yard line.
He'll set up about 4 yards from the line. 3 set up to your left. Right in motion. He'll give it to Zuriel Wright. Zuriel Wright to the end zone. They will mark him short at the 1. But it's shocking quick play. They've been going to Zuriel Wright like that quite a few times this season. It worked, but it was not enough. As you see him laced up like he's out on the ice. The inventor of the V-neck jersey, Zuriel Wright, helping keep this Hawks drive alive. And it should be 2nd and goal. Unless it was a holding and not a pass interference call. Bauzo in at quarterback. And it looks like there will be a timeout called. It is 2nd and goal. The clock will continue to run, and it looks like that was I'm unsure what just happened. And with 18 seconds and counting here in the first quarter, this could be the last play of the first quarter. Can Hammond get it in? He tries, he glides, he slides! And we'll try to see what they call it. It's not a touchdown. They'll call him short at the end of our first quarter. We'll check again on the replay. Hammond tries to bounce through Benjamin Watson. Watson had him there the whole time. And Corey was never set, so we'll have to do this one again. It was an illegal motion, so the flag and a replay of 2nd down. Hammond throws to the end zone. That's swatted. And I believe that is the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, the U have made this one a tight but ugly game. It's 6-0. The Hawks are trying to soar above. Can they get past the Rubicon known as the Jersey goal line? We'll find out next. It's the games of the week. We're back here. It's the start of the second quarter. It's the A7FL Games of the Week, and we are here brought to you by our friends over at TPG Sports. You can head on over there, or you can be a part of the conversation at a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. Shout out to Hines to the throw to the end zone. Can't get there on third down. Hammond off the rip, tried to get it to Amir Morris. Amir Morris wasn't there for the up top. Sands the chicken box, so it will be 4th and goal as the U defense meet the moment again. And withstanding a penalty, the Hawks back to the wall and could set up a 94-yard sojourn for Quattrell Huffin and the U. Hawks started this drive on their own 30. Get within 6. But here on 4th and goal, the U defense, including that big man, number 54, Watson, who has been so vital on this drive the last couple of plays and stopping Corey Hammond from getting into the end zone. Hammond on 4th and goal. Hammond gets brought down, and there he is again, number 54, Benjamin Watson, with an emphatic sack. Big munch, taking a big munch out of the Hawks offensive line. We see here again on the replay. Just immediate, checks the jersey sleeves. Both men doing some alterations, but the slide through from number 20, Willie Easterling. Hammond started that drive 4-4, ended it 0-4 as Huff will get the ball at right around the 10-yard line after the sack. 90 yards for the U, the toss back. That's Easterling again. Easterling, whoa! That's why they call him Willie Mayweather, because he throws the knockout blow. Haven't seen a Mayweather lay somebody out like that in about 15 years. Goodness gracious, first down, Patterson. What a run, what a rush. Immediately just cutting down the deficit in yards. Just the runs you dream about. He's had 2 so far today. Cuts in. Garcia couldn't know where to go. Sit down, sir. Sir, you do not belong in this restaurant. You do not have a reservation. Kicking him out the club on offense and defense. The toss back one more time. Glide strides, will get stopped at the line and a flag on the play. Maybe a gain of 1, but we might be going back or forward a few yards. Matt Ryan here, living like Joey Styles in 95. Pulling a Vin Scully as the U and the Hawks battle for the 6th spot. Holding on the offense. So they get called on a hold there that would only have gotten them a yard, but that will send them back. As number 71, Nicholas Cruz, a.k.a. Berger, rotates out. Got Victor Rivera. Look at the massive amounts of humanity on that line. Just unfair. Like, it's a cattle farm. An intense amount of humans. Now you see Big Angry. You see Amir Morris. These guys having to play both sides of the ball today against a U team that is down in numbers, but certainly not down in size. 12:33 on 1st and 20, the back stack. They throw this one deep downfield. That's Huff. Tipped up, almost picked. And that one intended for number 9, Dakari Mims. That is why he's one of the hottest receivers in the league. He was all the way out there, almost made the play. But solid coverage there by the Hawks secondary to make it 2nd and 20. Mims has been a guy that we've called on the Games of the Week quite a few times. One of the most impressive big play players we have in a league full, a plethora of big play players. Just trying to see how many plosives I can get off in a sentence. It'll be 2nd and 20. Off the handoff. Keeps it. The throw, the catch. What a play there. It's the dot boss, of course, cutting the deficit down to 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5. Big play there by the dot boss, Markeith Williamson. One of the most reliable hands in the A7FL for Quattrell Huff. And Big Angry almost got in there, but the sidearm just throwing it with precision like a second baseman. Just the 6-4-3 on that one. The handoff to Westerling. The ball's fumbled and picked up by the Hawks. Big pickup there. The Hawks get the ball on the turnover. What a play. Quick bing, bang, bong. Drop down. And that's Ryan Rios on the stop. What a stop there. Holy moly. The Hawks get new life. The ball popped out of Umar Lewis's hands, and then just right there, Rios seeing the ball and not trying to be a hero, just trying to be the man of the moment. Gets the ball in the first down, and Hammond gets another chance to get the Hawks on the board to tie this one up. You started with the ball first. They had over a 6-minute drive to set up their first score. The Hawks would manage the remainder of the quarter. The snap, Hammond throws it, caught, intercepted. Intended for Pedro Bauzo, and that one ends up in the hands of Tyron Brown as the Honey Badger makes it happen, and the U get the ball back immediately after turning it over as the exchange of turnovers between both sides. And you see Bauzo was the intended receiver, had him, but the ball was just behind him. The mullet gave him a little bit of carry on the wind and moved him a little further than Hammond expected. So they will head back to the line, exhausted but not defeated, as they look to send the house. The handoff to Easterling, and Easterling will power through for a gain of 5, and it will be second down. Bauzo, a Twitch streamer, coach, parent, father, good dude. Has been an effective check down for Hammond and the Hawks all season. But there, just the Honey Badger did what Honey Badgers do and disrupt. Huff looking to command on the line there. Dressed like late-stage NWO Hollywood Hogan. The toss back, the throw, it is almost picked off by Wright. The dot boss had it, but Zuriel Wright was just tracking down the dot boss. Had a feeling the ball was going to get there, did not look back, but gets the stop anyway, and it will be third down. The football gods giving and taking on both sides here. As you see Williamson wide open, calling for the ball, had it, and then Wright just tracks him. It's like, no, sir. He saw them go for the ball, stuck the arm out, got the stop, and now the U are at 3rd and 6. Huff so far 3 for 4. That was his first incompletion, 35 yards and a tutty to throw off the hands, and that one was intended for Kareem Williams. That will be incomplete. The human highlight will take the U to 4th down. And there's Amir Morris, who was in on the stop. A guy who has played in A7FL championship games, one of the most defining receivers in the league, took this chance with the Hawks. It's fourth down, 4th and 6. Huff faces the pressure, throws this one. That one's incomplete, and the Hawks will get the ball back. Not able to get there in time. Big play, Haas Dubois misses the timing, and that ball goes into the dirt from Huff. And the Hawks keep pace here with 7:48 left to go. Have only burned one timeout, but will have to drag a tired team back to the line. And we see Haas Dubois here. Great job by our camera team. Amazing work today in spite of the weather. We'll get back to that highlight at halftime. Wright in motion. He'll take it from Hammond. Zuriel Wright will bounce around. He will keep it moving. He will get positive yardage. Nonetheless, he'll stay upright and get a gain of about 4. If not 3, it'll be second down. Impressive play there by Wright, making something out of nothing. That U defense came right at them in the battle of green and green. As we see that play from Dubois, he had no. That was for Dakari Mims was wide open. Huff had him on that 4th down play, but was not able to get there in time. Hammond on 2nd down, tipped, picked. No, that ball's knocked down. It'll be 3rd down. But Hammond gets the license plate of Benjamin Watson, the truck that hit him. As the munch box comes on through again, like at a construction site, and just plows through Hammond to make it 3rd down. Both teams today, and that's the 6th straight incompletion for Hammond. Watch Watson here, just comes right on through. And Hammond fighting for his life, and Watson just all arms and legs, a large human, making it happen. It'll be 3rd and 10. The defenses have made it hard for either side to operate on big plays. The throw on 3rd down, Wright makes the catch. Will they give him the 1st down, or will it be another 4th and short? And they will mark him down about 1.5 yards from where he caught the ball, so they'll say he got sent back. And Wright, Bonnet, and Shiesty rocking the Gator Tech. And Hammond, you see here, hit as he throws, but Wright catches it right at the marker, but is dragged back. So that's where they mark it, 4th and 2. Watch for Watson. Watch for just the pressure coming off the line. Right in motion again off the screen. That's to Amir Morris. Amir Morris will get the 1st down and more. Correction, that was not Amir Morris. That was number 10, Tyshawn Robinson. But there's the Honey Badger again on the tackle. Robinson and Morris, along with Bauzo. You see Big Angry, Rios. These guys tired with 4:50 left to go in the half. Quite possibly one of the fastest first halves in A7FL Game of the Week history. Offense set out wide. The snap, Hammond drops back, throws this one to the end zone. Amir Morris can't pull it down. Dakari Mims on the coverage. 2 all-time greats going head-to-head. Mims coming out the better man for that one. And number 7 is Louis. Ooh, thank you so much for that. We see again on the replay, Hammond, again, number 30 coming in and chopping him down. Big play, and then again getting the stop. It'll be 3rd down. The snap, pardon me, on 2nd down. Hammond to the end zone. Can he get it? No! Another one, and it looked... Dakari Mims was on him like they were sharing the same color palette. The same hue of green for one bright moment, and you see Morris dejected there, breathing hard after giving it his all to try and tie it. We'll take a look again at the replay. Hammond gets there, launches this one, and a little bit before the catch there, Morris looking for the call, disappointed and dejected. It is 3rd down. We'll take a look again at the replay. And keep it hip to hip up until right here, and just a little bit of arm fighting. I can see why they would want the call, but on 3rd and 10, Hammond launches it, intercepted! Gets it to Dakari Mims. And this is why he is one of the hottest players in the A7FL, as he will take this one to the house. Over 85 yards, he tosses it back to the Honey Badger. Touchdown, Patterson. And the Hawks, Dakari Mims was setting up for that big play. And on the man who does the beat every time here on the Game of the Week, you see the exhaustion of Zariel Wright. Just tries to get it right through the window and Mims just beats right to the break. And then from there, it is they're just outsourcing him. Hammond tried to get in on the block. But at that point, you see the dot boss set the chip. And Dakari Mims shares the wealth with the Honey Badger. Tosses it back. For the touchdown, the U will go for 2 with 2:40 left to go. If the U walk out of here today with the win, well, either team walk out today with the win, they will be the 6th seed. We'll have a couple of different options for their opponent. Now with time, not a lot of it. Rios comes in trying to chase him down. And he will glide, he will stride, he will find himself down. And that's Amir Morris on the tackle on Kareem Williams, the human highlight. Almost had a highlight there, but got stopped and stifled. As we will see, the Hawks get the ball back after this break. With not a lot of time left in the half, what will Corey Hammond and the Hawks do? We'll find out on the other side of this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are.
That last penalty was a holding on the defense. Penalty was declined. The score is now Patterson U12, Hawks 0.
Back live with the A7FL Games of the Week, and they're brought to you by GatorTech. Get more protected on the field with the Gatorskin Shiesty, shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%. This protective shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit g8rtech.com and use the code A7FL25 for 10% off today. Waleek Huffin will throw it off for the Patterson U. 12-0 after the pick 6 from Dakari Mims. And it'll be Zareel Wright returning it, the Iron Man for the Hawks so far today. Wright will get to the 35, near the 40, and that will be better than his initial return. Hawks get the ball after halftime, and the V-neck returns. The deep V jersey after Waleek Huffin in on the stop. And the throw, Hammond walking back onto the field. Completed his first 4 completions, and ever since then it's been topsy-turvy and dealing with the elements in this Patterson U defense. 2 picks on the day, 1 for a pick 6, 79 yards, 6 for 15. Has made 2 completions since starting off 4-0. As this Patterson U defense has begun to try to bend but not break this Hawks staff. And Hammond will keep it, and Hammond will gain about 2 yards as Hammond will make his walk. We'll take a brief timeout. We'll be back after the 2-minute warning. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are.
The Hawks number 12, Corey Hammond, for a gain of 2 yards. It is now 2nd and 8, ball on the 40-yard line after the 2-minute warning.
Back live on the A7FL Games of the Week. Matt Ryan here with you. The Hawks down 12-0. And if you want to be a part of the A7FL, bring it to your town. Go to a7fl.com/owners. Be a part of the future of football. Head on over to a7fl.com/owners now. Be second down. Hammond snaps. In trouble. Rolls. Throws. Almost caught by Bauzo, but it'll be second and 7, pardon me, after the incompletion. The Hawks offensive line having to come across Watson and company has not been the ideal scenario so far today, as Hammond has had no time to deal with the vast array of weapons in front of him on the defensive side to get it to weapons like Zareel Wright or to Amir Morris. It'll be third and 7. The snap. Hammond in trouble, throws it through the window, and it was a timing route that didn't time, and it'll be fourth down. The intended receiver was Zareel Wright. Hammond favoring that thumb. Minute 50 left to go, and under 2 minutes in the second and fourth quarter, the clock will stop on incompletions and plays ran out of bounds. So on 4th and 7 with a minute 50 left to go, Hammond has been denied 3 times so far from getting into the end zone, and they will throw it off and concede the ball back to Patterson with our version of a punt, which is still a 3-on-1 throw-off. The goal for Rios right now is to just get that ball out of play, no matter where it lands, but that will land inbounds, and here's an opportunity for Tyron Brown to put points on the board one more time for the Patterson U. He will not. The ball's trying to get pulled out. The ball's knocked loose. We'll see who comes up with it, and it looks like the Hawks might have gotten the ball back. And it seems like Rios and the Hawks, well, see what the call is Williams walks his way back onto the field. It seems like he was called down. But for Rios, for a brief moment, it looked like the Hawks were going to get the ball back. They call him down by contact. So it will be 1st and 10 for the Patterson U.
Patterson will snap the ball on the 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
They're claiming the runner was down, so with a minute 50, it'll be Kareem Williams stepping in at quarterback. Abe Albana on this U roster today. See him, number 14 in the slot. Williams will just track star it. He will find himself off the blocks and find himself at the 40, the 30, the 20 slide. You call him the human highlight because that's what he is. Touchdown, Patterson. And just like that, started off 6-0, but now it's 18-0 as Kareem Williams goes over 50 yards to the end zone on the keeper as the Hawks offense opened up like traffic on the Midtown Tunnel. As Williams will make this a 3-score lead. He was just waiting for the green light, and there off of that block from number 8. Just created that opportunity. And at this point, it's off to the races. Zareel Wright trying to keep up with him. A gamer until the end. But Wright makes it happen. And increases the lead for Patterson. 18-0 your score. It'll be Kenneth Stewart, the young bull, in at quarterback. 3 on the line. Umar Lewis moves up, and now Stewart can't get there, and a flag on the field. It'll be declined. And it seems that was on Burton, number 70. impression, that's Stephen Emile, number 70, on this most recent edition of the roster. As we get holding declined by the holding on the offense, declined by the defense, so we will see the Hawks get the ball on the return. And this edition of the A7FL Games of the Week is live on DAZN on A7FL.tv and presented by Scene. Interactive AI video for you and your business. Unlock your potential, whether it's with your content or just putting together, giving you complete control of your video content. Scene helps you that organize inventory, maximize monetization with shoppable prompts and ads at optimum times to generate and increase revenue. See what it can do for you and your business at A7FL.tv and see the next level of video commerce and social scaling at Scene. That's SEEN.com, or scan the QR code now. Matt Ryan here with you is the real right on your screen, as it is 18-0 in our second quarter. Dakari Mims will throw off for Patterson, as this will be an untimed down. Zareel Wright looking for the first points of the day for the Hawks. Wright, looking like he was about to throw the ball, will run through the coverage man and lost any chance of the yards he might have gained, as Stewart and number 7, Waleek Huffin, are in on the tackle. And already through just under 14 of 30 minutes of football, Zareel Wright has gotten his 10,000 steps in and then some. He has been the most important player on the field for the New Jersey Hawks at any given time. And with 98 seconds left to go, 2 timeouts and the ball at half, the Hawks need something here. Hammond with his right hand taped. Looks like he might have injured his thumb. We saw him favoring it on that third down, after that third down play on the last drive. Hammond gets it to Morris. That number 10. It's Tyshawn Robinson. Robinson with the first down. And Robinson, veteran receiver, as he makes his walk back to the huddle. Clock is at 1:16. We see Hammond here on the completion. Puts it through the window, gets it right to him, and immediately met by Umar Lewis, keeping him in bounds. Under a minute now, 2nd and 2. Hammond gets that ball tipped, tried to get it over the line. That's number 30, Isaac Malera, with his hand up. Big Angry giving up the goat, not being able to play keep away with that big man. So it'll be 3rd and 2, but the play will stop the clock on the incompletion. So a slight reprieve for the Hawks in the clock right now, with under a minute to go in the half. Looking to set any momentum, any leverage, any positive energy they can muster before walking into halftime. Looking to send the whole city of Paterson. The throw, can't get it to him. Look for the receiver to break off, but he was covered by Dakari Mims. Mims was looking for his second pick 6, and it'll be 4th and 2. As this Hawks offense is starting to feel a sputter. As they find another drive and another 4th down. One wonders what can be done in a situation like this for Hammond and this Hawks defense. 7 for 20, this Hawks offense, 7 for 20, 88 yards, 2 interceptions. With only Zareel Wright as his only true option at running back. Not a lot of other options on 4th and 1. Hammond will carry it. Hammond will get brought down and move forward. They will not give him the first. And you can see we'll check again on the hike. on the replay here. Hammond sees the presence of Malera and Watson, just gets up, gets forward, tries to pry himself away. Number 99, Jihad Carson, but the cannon did enough there. And you can see the effects of that rush and that last drive and this game on Corey Hammond. As the Patterson U defense
for the Patterson U, ball on the 33-yard line.
Look to treat him like Steve Buscemi got treated by the wood chipper in Fargo. Williams back in at quarterback. One play for him so far, and that one was a rush over 50 yards for a touchdown, and now he'll try to throw it for over 30 for a touchdown behind the back, and that is why he is hot. Dakari Mims behind the back, letting it swing, 24-0 Patterson.
33-yard pass.
I don't know if shout out to his detailing business or whatever cupcake bakery that is, but big play for the Patterson U as Dakari Mims behind the back. Let's see here. 42 yards, just throwing it from the 42. Just, 40 yards, just catch a 40-yarder behind the back like that. Just for funsies. It feels like the Patterson U might be back. Whether or not they are going to be all the way back against potential opponents like the Watchmen, the BIC, or the Animals, because those would be, if they walk out of here today with the win, just making it look easy. Like, you couldn't do that in NFL Street. You couldn't do that in Madden. You couldn't do that in college football, but we could do it in the A7FL. And now an opportunity for the extra point. That is Williams back in. He is sent back to the 40. Not out of range for him. He is just sending this defense back and back, further and further. What a pull. Oh, my God. And throws it from the 50. And it is caught, but it is incomplete. That's caught by Nicholas Cruz, a.k.a. Burger.
No good.
Watch this again. This is the touchdown. Let's watch the touchdown again. I want to see the extra point. Please give me the extra point. But just, basket, just catch it like nothing. Just catch it like, caught it like a loaf of bread behind his back. 24-0, a now partly cloudy day, starting to get a little more beautiful, a little less ferocious. And we take a look at the extra point. Just from the 50, this is the touchdown play again. Just from the 50. Oh, this is the extra point. And he's not inbounds. He's the opposite of inbounds. He's on the other side of the cones. But the fact he threw it from the 50 to the end zone. How? This is a team that's going to be possibly a 6 seed. Bonkers. And this game is brought to you by our friends over at TPG Sports. There you see Dakari Mims rocking the Patterson U jersey. If you want a custom jersey for you and your team, or you want a custom A7FL jersey, go to tpg-sports.com. That's tpg-sports.com. Go to where it's effort over excuses. TPG Sports. Matt Ryan here with you. Final week of the A7FL regular season. We haven't hung out like this, just you and I, in quite a long time. So glad to be joining you on A7FL.TV and DAZN. He launched from the 40 after potential penalty. Surreal Wright will catch this at the 10. Wright cuts through. Gets through one defender, gets through another. Can he get through Dakari Mims? If he can get through Mims, he might be able to get to the end zone. No, and he'll get to the 32 as Mims will walk him down and out of play. That was 2 straight first play touchdowns for the Patterson U. And Surreal Wright there, a.k.a. Mr. V-Neck. Someone get that man some electrolytes and possibly a large sandwich, but you can look like Surreal Wright on the field by going to tpg-sports.com. He's the custom jersey I would want this week because he has been everywhere and trying to do everything for this Hawks offense and defense and special teams. I think he even brought the apple slices today. Surreal Wright has been everywhere and everything to this Hawks team. And if you want to send hoagies or send your thoughts, go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. First and 10, Hammond. We'll toss this one to Bauzo. Bauzo will get on his bicycle. Pedro Bauzo, the check down master, will find himself near the 50. He is brought down, and his knee, he took the ground hard. The clock will stop here, and he hit the turf hard. And he will try to get himself back up. We'll take a look again at the replay. Hammond had no time, and he got it to Bauzo, who was already just, Corey, get me the ball. Gave up on the block, tried to get the first down, and then the Malherbe showing up and showing out. Cuts through two defenders before number 99, Carson, comes up with him, and Watson drives him into the turf for the tackle. And Bauzo getting up on his own power despite the knee. And it looks like his day may be done. At least the half will be done. After an impressive pull there, and it'll be first down for the Hawks. And we'll see what Corey Hammond and company can do. And Pedro was an ineligible receiver, so instead of first and 10, it'll be first and 15. So no bail for Bauzo or for Hammond or this Hawks offense. The snap, Hammond will be in trouble. Watson tracking him down to throw. That's to the sideline. Hammond getting out of dodge. It'll be incomplete, and it'll be second down. Not how either side have wanted the day to start, but the U here in the second quarter scoring 3 times. One off a pick six and then 2 off of first play touchdowns. One an over 50-yard run by Kareem Williams, and the other an over 40-yard pass from Kareem Williams with the behind-the-back basket catch from number 9, Dakari Mims. Garcia will consider himself eligible. 2 wide receivers. On the bottom of your screen, the snap. Hammond in trouble. Hammond sets up, throws, caught. That's a big play. That's an opportunity. Can they get something with 28 seconds? The ball's knocked out, knocked loose, and the U will come up with it. The ball will be knocked out. That's Dakari Mims. Dakari Mims will be called out of play. We'll see if it's a fumble or see if he was down by contact. It might be U ball. It seems like Hawks ball. That'll be the end of the half either way. At halftime, we'll have highlights, stats, and more as we get deep into the weeds here in Asbury Park. The U with the lead, the Hawks down, but we'll get the ball at half. We'll set the stage for the second half next. back live with the A7FL Games of the Week, and it's brought to you by Tape Me Up, professional athletic training services to athletes and sports of all ages. See what Tape Me Up can do for you or the athlete in your life by going to tapemeup.net. That's tapemeup.net. Matt Ryan here with you on the A7FL Games of the Week. 24-0 your score. You started with the ball in our first half. And they scored 6. They got the score on the board first during their first drive, but then it would take until the second half for them to kick up into what we know as U football. Corey Hammond started the day 4-0, and then on the other side of that half has had a not-so-great stat line, but we'll get you the stats in just a moment. Coming up at 4 o'clock, it'll be the Watchmen and the BIC in the battle for first place. Winner of that game will be at the top of the heap in the East. The loser of this game will be the 8th seed, and the winner of this game will be the 6th seed. A lot of matchups as we get ready for highlights here at halftime. And we'll have games in Las Vegas a little bit after. And as we are here on A7FL.TV, coming up at 4 o'clock, it is the BIC taking on the Watchmen. Following that, it will be a showdown in the West as we go to highlights. The Gold will take on the Hunters. First play, Willie Easterling going almost 40 yards, almost taking this one to the house, going 36 yards on the rush. Give it 34 to set up Quattrell Huffin to the end zone in there, making it 6-0, and then Zariel Wright would have the ball bobble off his hands on the first return of the afternoon for the Hawks. And that would set him up on a not-so-great path, but a solid run to the 30. Hammond, first drive, first 4 plays of this drive, he was incredible, getting it to Zariel Wright to getting it over to Tyshawn Robinson on that first play, but then the U defense would show up and show why they are one of the more dominant forces here in the league. On 4th and 11, somehow, some way, the ball would be tipped and found into the hands of Zariel Wright. Wright would get the first down in one of the more thrilling plays of the season so far. But then at the start of the second quarter, it'd be 4th and goal, and Hammond would find himself at the bottom of a mountain as number 54, Benjamin Watson, would make himself known. And then on the next drive for the U, another big play from Willie Easterling as he would get a couple of people up out the club and get a over 30-yard gain again on the day. But then the next play on the drive, trying to get it to Umar Butter-Lewis, and the Hawks would get the ball back. But then, bing, bang, pick. A throw to Pedro Bauza would end up in the hands of the Honey Badger, Tyron Brown. Huff, next drive, finds himself in trouble, could not get it there on 4th down. Back-to-back drives, back-to-back inconclusive results, and then the Hawks get the ball back, but then, bang, there he is. Big play, big catch, another one for Zariel Wright, a guy who has been there for this Hawks team all season long, especially the last few weeks. Could not get the first down, but then later in the drive, there he is. That is why he is one of the hottest players in the A7FL on either side of the ball. He is Dakari Mims. Mims takes this one to the house, giving the U a 12-0 lead. And then from there, the Hawks offense was trying to play catch-up, but the Patterson U defense would not allow it. And on the first play, behind center, Kareem Williams would go over 60 yards to the house. Just go, I'm a Usain Bolt this, and make it a 3-score lead, 18-0 for the Patterson U. Let's just see it again. He's at the 30. I'm like, I'm going to go on a nice 70-yard run. Just a nice 70-yard run through Asbury Park. It's a beautiful Sunday, just a little bit of rain, not the worst thing in the world. Just get the right kind of blocking. And what's this? Is that the end zone? Is that where I can go get, is that near Boosker too? Ooh, I can get a coffee. Sounds lovely. And that's what his internal monologue was. 8. One play for him so far. And that one was a rush over 50 yards for a touchdown. And now he'll try to throw it for over 30 for a touchdown behind the back. And that is why he is hot. See here. Play over 40 yards as Olive decided to create chaos. So did Dakari Mims, catching it behind the back to give us our current score as the Patterson U have been slinging it here with 4 seconds left to go. Hammond and company stuck deep behind enemy lines. Launches this one, gets the catch, but could they get the score? Could they make something happen? The throw back from Tyshawn Robinson would create a fumble. And folks, that is how we got here to end our first half. 24-0 is your score. We'll be back with stats and more. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Don't go anywhere. What are you doing? We got so much football for you today. Come hang out with me. I'm so alone. I'm so alone. Back live, and this edition of the A7FL Games of the Week is brought to you by Scene. Unlock the potential of interactive AI video for you and your content by scanning the QR code now or go to SEEN. That's SEEN.com. Matt Ryan here with you for the A7FL Games of the Week. The U with the lead at halftime. The Hawks get the ball, though, and a fresh set of timeouts and a fresh set of downs. But let's take a look at the stats so far today as we enter our second half of action in just a few moments. 24-0, and Williams has been such an impressive player. 2 drives, 2 plays, 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 throwing. But when we get the stats up for you, we'll run through what else has been there for you on the day. The Hawks with only 9 rushing yards, not really a lot there, with Zareel Wright doing literally everything else. The rushing game certainly supplemented by 2 long runs from Willie Easterling and an over 50-yard rush from Kareem Williams. Aside from that, a depth at running back hasn't been there much today. Passing yards, obviously, Corey Hammond's going to have the advantage. 2 turnovers to 1. Not a lot of difference, but noticeable outside of the rushing yards. Not that big of a discrepancy so far today between either sides, 184 to 123. But when you watch this game, you might seem outsized looking at this from the macro, but if you looked at how this game was going and how these two teams play, you could see this being where we are, at least on the stat sheet. Scoreboard, not sure. Some people might have had the U a little further ahead, but for their first game in a couple of weeks, one of the longer layoffs in A7FL history, they have been coming out with the success, as it is 24-0 with the score. and it's 24-0 here in the A7FL, with it being the U in the lead. And we're going to be talking about our 4 o'clock game coming up in 90 minutes, just in under 90 minutes time. It'll be the Watchman and this man, Carlos Crosland, who catches picks, catches and throws tutties, and can be anything and everything for this Watchman team, as they are going to have to battle for the 1 spot. They're currently the 3, a win here after they fell to the Animals in the regular season. But watch Crosland, just his ability, just built like Karl Anthony Towns, but is so fluid and so much motion. Look at the arms, the legs, but the persistence and the will. Just such a driven athlete, making insane throws and being able to make insane things happen. If the Watchmen are trusting him today, or will it be OG Buck? Will it be Ace Boogie? Who will be the quarterback for the Watchmen? You see Crosland being able to pull plays in like that. What version of the Watchmen will we see today? Will we see the Nick Mays that shocked the world the last few seasons after being a mean machine outside of Baltimore? Will we see Marcellus Pack make a statement on the team he played for last season, making his return home to Baltimore? Will we see this version of the Baltimore defense stand up to one of the highest scoring teams in the league? Will we be able to see them cut through defenders like this, going through a team that took the BIC to the wire in the Silk City Animals? What will happen today in the games of the week? And then you've got the defending Eastern Conference champions. And there you see Ashante Worthy and the reigning MVP, Sterry Codrington. This offense has gotten better because Codrington has thrown 22 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's completed 69% of his passes. And it's not just because of that man, Ashante Worthy. And it's not just because he can run it in like nobody else. It's because Kason Campbell has taken such a star turn this year. And when you have Ashante Worthy who can do things like that against this U defense, and you have guys like Trey Cohen who are some of the fastest human beings alive, and then you have Kason Campbell, that right there is a man who's almost broken his own record 4 times. All of these guys. And there you see Trey Cohen, one of the most dynamic returners in league history. This is what's coming up at 4 o'clock. And talking about dynamic returners, there's the greatest returner possibly to ever exist in this league, Ashante Worthy. You just see him there cooking people up, just serving up a Michelin star meal on a return on an untimed down. And then right here, Kason Campbell just making a perfect catch. 4 o'clock. It's the battle for the 1 seed. 2 teams with a lot of pride and a lot on the line. The BIC looking to return to their 3rd championship in 4 seasons. The Watchmen looking to be the first Baltimore team since 2018 when 2 Baltimore teams were in the A7FL championship. They're looking to be the first, and they're looking to be the first since the Gators in 2018. But mama, there goes that man, Ashante Worthy. Will the sun set on the hopes for the Watchmen's chance at the 1 seed? We will find out at 4 o'clock. But the hopes for the Hawks are still a little contingent on the last 30 minutes of football. Can Corey Hammond, with a busted hand, staring at the sunset, find a way to be the gunslinger one more time? We find out next. This edition of the A7FL Games of the Week is brought to you by GatorTech. GatorTech protective shiesties help you to prevent up to 79% of concussion risks. And you can get 10% off by utilizing the code A7FL25. That's A7FL25 at GatorTech. That's G8RTech.com. Malik Huffin will be throwing it off for the Patterson U as our third quarter begins. Matt Ryan here with you live from Asbury Park, New Jersey. The ball will bounce, and that could have been an opportunity to get a dead ball run, but now it's a return from the return that'll get stopped at the 10, and it will be first down for the New Jersey Hawks, pardon me, as the Hawks get a little bit of help on the return side of things. Look like Yat Dadan on the return there. As Wright and company. On a day full of rain, traffic, and trepidation. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks, deep in their own territory. Worst starting position so far today for the Hawks. You at one point had to go for a 93-yard drive, but they did not score. Spread wide, 1st and 10. Right in motion, he'll set back near Hammond. The snap, Hammond throws it, can't pull it in, it'll be 2nd down. Looking for the call, looking for the flag, the Honey Badger on the coverage. And Hammond going over the route. Quick ankles there from Hammond. Must have went over to the Take Me Up table. But at 13:42 and counting. One of the lesser returns on the day from either side. Hammond 8 for 23, 114 yards. 2 INTs on the day. Wright will set up at the line. Hammond in trouble, needs to get rid of it, and that will be a safety as the Paterson U welcoming committee put 2 more on the board and is sent behind the line as the Hawks will get the ball back. And that was number 99, Carson the Cannon, running on in, this new addition. Much like Bobby Brown in the 80s, cooking as Watson set it up. And the Cannon came in to finish it. And Watson helping him out there, giving him a little Halloween Havoc 95 as another safety comes across the table here. Well, not a lot of safeties so far this season. More than we've seen, but either way, the U will have to throw the ball off, and it looks like we might have a thick return team or not. We're trying to get an understanding of what the issue was. And it will be Ibrahim Albana out there for the U. And Cole Gardella, both safeties that we've had in back-to-back weeks have come at the hands of the Hawks. Last week on Bebo on that return, but after the safety, the U will get the ball. And they will throw it off here. 13-13 left to go, and this will be a dead ball return from Albana, former Renegade. For a season in a U uniform, but he will get to the 50. And set hopefully possibly Williams up for better success than the Hawks were on that last drive. And it will be 1st and 10 for Williams. 2 one-play drives for him so far, both leading the touchdowns. And it'll be a lot of speed out there for Patterson. Willie Easterling will walk back near the sideline. And we'll bring in some bigger bodies. Emil and Nicholas Cruz out there. They'll set the scene. And it will be 1st and 10 for the U. 12:25 left to go in the third. In motion, that is Dakari Mims. Mims will throw this one. This one is caught by Lewis. Slip, slide, one play, one drive, 3 times. Touchdown, Patterson. As the circus is back in town. Umar Lewis showing that speed does kill. No gambling with that man. And they will throw up the U as they increase their lead here today in Asbury Park. No matter who it is. Let's see here again. The toss to Dakari Mims. And Mims steps back to the 45, has a man in his face, leans back, pop flies it. Oh, almost 40 yards on the fly. Getting it to Umar Lewis. And gliding on into the end zone. Now, whether or not the U can do this against one of the top 3 seeds in the East, that is yet to be decided. But right now, taking a look at the depth on this U team, this collection of players, and it gets, and the big man can't pull it in. That was Berger, and he beefs it. And with a pick 6, a recorded touchdown, and a passing touchdown in the same game, might be the first time. It's the first time in modern A7FL history where a player has caught a pick 6, caught a receiving touchdown, and thrown a passing touchdown. So another week, another dose of modern A7FL history. And if you want to talk about that with me or talk about it with fellow A7FL fans, head on over to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. That is the official home of the A7FL online for all conversations. But you can also head on over and get a custom uniform at tpg-sports.com. But head on over to Locker Room Chat now at a7fl.com/chat. Go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat to join us there. Three-on-one return, and that'll be caught. Looks like Zareel right back out. Nope, that's the Don back out there looking for redemption. Cannot get ball, gets ripped out. Is that a live ball, or will they call him down by contact? And it'll be at the 29 for Hammond and Company. .12:07 left to go in the third. Off the quick screen. That's the Zareel right. Right caught. Oh, they call it down. Tried to get him off the quick foot there, but the quick thinking, number 30, Isaac Malera. Three different U players today have thrown passes. They've all thrown touchdowns. They're a combined 5 for 9, 117, 3 touchdowns. And for 2 of those quarterbacks, those touchdowns were on their first throws of the game. That is a bonker stat. How does that even happen? How do we even get here? Well, it's the Patterson U, so historically they've had guys like that, but showing the depth today, not having Quattrell Huffman play a full game, and right now it's panning out. 2nd and 10, thrown underneath. That is to Zareel Wright. Wright will get the first down and run out of play near the 40. (32-0) your score. As the Animals, the 2 seed as of now, watching potential opponent in our 1 or 4 o'clock game, especially in our, as they will await how this shakes out today. They are locked into the 2 seed. The only matchup right now completely locked in the Eastern Conference playoffs for when we return in 2 weeks is the Renegades battling the Crush, as they are stocked at the 4 and 5 seed. The Renegades at the 4, the Crush at the 5. The snap, Hammond thrown, caught, big play, and he carries him with him. He's carrying him with him across the 50. What a play, what a catch. Tyshawn Robinson, the cheetah, not being brought down in the Serengeti. That is the A7FL. A big play there and a big catch. We'll see where they mark him down. But let's see this again. Hammond, a little more time than usual. Malera gets there. Hammond hit as he throws. And the wherewithal to catch that. Just knowing where to be. Gives Hammond his best field position of the half. Thrown over the middle. Almost complete. Almost picked off. Amir Morris covered again by Dakari Mims. As Mims continues to be locked down today. In our first game of the afternoon. 9:25 and counting. In our third quarter. Robinson looking for any help from these officials. Not a lot of calls so far today. Both teams have been allowed to play with a couple of holdings here or there, but not a lot of calls. Seen some tighter games this season in terms of the official calling. The snap, Hammond thrown across the middle. That is tipped. It was intended for, I believe, right, but it was swatted away, and it will be third down. Number 78 in place, I believe, of Bauzo. We'll take a look at the replay here. Hammond, again, ran into as he throws. Seems like every highlight we've seen so far today of Hammond after a pass, whether complete or incomplete, there's a sea of Patterson players in his face. 144 yards slinging the pill, though, today. Throws it down. An opportunity. Cannot get the first, but it will be fourth and moderate after the throw to Dedon. That'll be his 10th completion on the afternoon. Hammond, 144 yards. We'll take a look again at the replay. Looked like he was calling for a timeout. The timeout wasn't called, so he's like, okay, I'll just catch the football. I'm unsure of how that play played out, but it gave the Hawks enough to get a fourth and close. Whatever that was, it worked enough. It'll be 4th and 3. They got the completion. They call a timeout after that. Seems just to catch their breath and maybe make a quick substitution. This game is brought to you by, well, us here at the A7FL, and we want you to be a part of it. Whether you're in Brooklyn, Bayshore, or in, Bangor, or across the country, whether you're in Oregon, Texas, Florida, Ohio, anywhere beyond the borders of where we play now. Go to a7fl.com/owners. That's a7fl.com/owners and find out how you can bring your team to our league to rep your town today. Matt Ryan here with you. 32-0 your score in the third quarter. As Hammond will have 3 set up on the line, and you see Amir Morris alongside slew of others. Hammond in trouble. Hammond tries to get away from the defense, tries to get away from more defenders, and he is piled on by over half of the Patterson U defense, and it'll be 4th down. And that was 4th down. We'll take a brief time out here, and we will be back with more as Hammond gets brought down by the Patterson U defense. We'll have more your third quarter after this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are. Back live, it's the A7FL Games of the Week, and you can come hang out with me in the chat. Download Locker Room Chat today at a7fl.com/chat. Drop a comment, get a shout-out. It's the official chat of the A7FL. Matt Ryan here with you on the A7FL Games of the Week. We're live here on endzone and A7FL TV. The U get the ball back after a fourth down sack of Corey Hammond as the Patterson U look for their fourth straight drive with a touchdown off of the first play. Let's see if they're able to get that done. Williams launches this one. Can't get there, and that's picked off. It's picked off by the Hawks. It's a drive for 5. They get stopped at 3. And another big play, this time on defense for Tyshawn Robinson. Catches the pop fly and gives the Hawks another chance here in the third. Robinson just finding and tracking the ball. It went to a green jersey again, but this time instead of it going to Dakari Mims or another wide receiver, this time it ends up in the hands of Tyshawn Robinson. And the pressure here, as that ball wobbled up in the air, got the distance but was not within the reach of the young bull, Kenneth Stewart. So making things happen. 1st and 10. Hammond will get the ball to Zareel Wright. Zareel Wright will get a slight gain there. It looks like he might have got caught in the eyes as he was trying to get down and avoid the tackler. Hit the Eddie Van Halen double knee slide. And if you're playing the beverage game in the chat, you're welcome. Is that an obscure reference, though? I'm not sure. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to a7fl.com/chat and we see. Oh, yeah. Got him right in the face. He was going to go for the tackle, but grabbed him right in the schmush. Just right in the mouth. Not what you want at all. It'll be 2nd and 6. Hammond. 5:51 left to go. In trouble again is brought down. Watson, Carson have just been emphatic, and Hammond having a conversation. Hammond not liking how Watson's handling his business there on that side of the line. He's got him more than enough times, but let's see again. Completely just pushes through, no chance, no help. And Hammond's going down. He doesn't have to go for the jersey at that point. Little too Watson happy there. As his shirt gets some fashion alterations. Some haute couture on 3rd and 12. 3 wide receivers. Again off the blitz, but this time the quick throw to Robinson. Robinson on 3rd and 12 will extend it and keep the drive going. But it seems it'll be a 4th and short for Hawks in their offense. A familiar place for them to be as we take a look again at the replay. Was waiting for him, and then that quick play, just not letting Watson or the U defense get off on their back foot at all. But the big man finding his way there, getting immediately off the line and to his man. Watson jumped the line. Might have given the the New Jersey Hawks a little bit of help there. As a man who has stood out on defense literally and on the stat sheet, gives the Hawks new life here late in the third. Coming up at the top of our next hour, coming up at 4 o'clock, just over an hour from now, it'll be the BIC and the Watchmen. To learn how you can watch that live, go to a7fl.com/watch. That's a7fl.com/watch. Unless you're already watching on a7fl.tv or endzone, just stay right where you are on the app of your choice. And Dakari Mims almost picked that one off one more time, but Amir Morris says, nah. I'm going to stop. I'm going to play defense for a second. We're going to switch roles. And, well, The defense that is the defense made it happen. And there is Ben Watson, large human being, large man who has made such a difference today for this U defense. He has opened up the possibilities for the blitz and the pass rush so far today without any other options behind Corey Hammond at running back. They have had to be a pass-only offense today. No Bebo Rios, no other options. The throw, that's to Amir Morris. Amir Morris on second down, gets the first down and more. He is dragged down emphatically by Watson. They dap each other up, and it will be first down with 2:50 and change left to go in our third quarter. Amir Morris, multiple-time A7FL champion on both sides of the ball, wanted an opportunity this season to show what he can do as wide receiver one. Hasn't been healthy all season, but certainly when he has been a great option for Hammond. And watch that there. What a play. What defense. Two of the best in the league going at it. And Mims, again, one of the most impressive players season over season here in the A7FL, as he gets the beat on Amir Morris. The only man we know of as of now to get a pick six, a reception touchdown, and a passing touchdown. Morris waited. Tried to beat his man, and then, I can see why both sides are mad, but there's the throw to Zariel right underneath on third down, right. Drives and continues this play, continues the pace for the Hawks as he gets past the 39, bursts down New Jersey. Hammond so far today, 12 for 32, 175 yards. A lot of those going to that man who just crossed the stream, Robinson in there, to Zariel Wright. Lack of options at tight end for the Hawks. No Delron Simmons today. Lack of Delron Simmons has made this a pass-only offense. No additions there in the backfield. So Hammond just playing Corey Hammond football. Just pass heavy, pass off, and there's the throw underneath. Another completion is a real right. Right gets another first down and is run out of play near the 27 in under a minute here in the third quarter. The Hawks are driving, but they've been down this road a couple of times before, but have been denied at the door like a Sunday morning. And you're handing out copies of a local paper. As we stand at the top of the A7FL watchtower, Zariel Wright trying to spread the good news for the Hawks as a sneaky candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Hammond, incomplete, throwing to Ghost there. Miscommunications between him and Wright. A zag versus zig situation, but it will be second down, and this will be the end of our third quarter, as the Hawks will end this one here in the third with the ball. And they will start the fourth quarter the same way they did as they did in the third with the football. But can they put a crooked letter on the board? We find out. It's the final 15 here in Asbury. On the other side of this, the U with the lead, the Hawks with the ball. It's the games of the week. Stay right where you are. Back live here on the A7FL Games of the Week, and it's brought to you by GatorTech. Get more protected with the Gator Skin Shiesty, proven to show up to 79% reduction in concussion risks. Find out more and get yourself one at GatorTech, that's G8R Tech, that's G8RTech.com, and use the code A7FL25 for 10% off. Matt Ryan here with you, start of the fourth quarter. Sees the real right, Corey Hammond and the Hawks. Right in motion. Will set out. They backstack. Nope. Hammond on second down will throw this one to the end zone. Caught! Brings it in! Do they get there? Can they call it? Are they calling them in or out? As Tyshawn Robinson, they give him the touchdown. Touchdown Hawks. The man was so excited to prove that he got the tutty that he wanted to run and show the officials, look what I can do. Well, Start, you found your way there, but Tyshawn Robinson, after the throw from Hammond, it's a rainbow. He gets in there 1 foot down, and that is a touchdown. The Hawks get on the board as the Cheetah gets around the young bull. A big play and a big pass there from Hammond. His first tutty of the day, their first tutty of the game. They'll go for 2 from 10. As just over 20 seconds, just 26 seconds gone by here in our fourth quarter. Timeout called. A challenge called on the field. A rare use of the challenge graphic. And Corey Hammond just like, come on, man. Really? We got to go this? I got to go to the booth now? And while the challenge is on, we want to remind you can be a part of the conversation at any time on a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. As we head into the A7FL playoffs, every matchup matters, every matchup counts. And we see here the catch. And now, from our perspective, it looks like he's in because he's several feet away from where the yard marker is. The thing that's deceiving about it is that the yard marker is there, the goal line marker. You see the one for the 20 there. But the pylon is down. And they call it a touchdown. It is confirmed to be a touchdown. Tyshawn Robinson gets the 6. He is happy. He gets to dance. He gets to say, yay, I scored a touchdown. Pedro Bauzo gives him some love. Corey Hammond is excited. Corey Hammond's going to go to Cole Gardella and say that was a touchdown. We all know that was a touchdown. You see this, yes? Yes? So put it on the stat sheet, Gardella. Hammond trying to orchestrate something, anything. You can see the frustration. He has made me that frustrated an innumerable amount of times. I know that body language and posture because I share it often. Going for 2 from the 10, 14-34. It's an untimed down. Hammond throws this one, tipped, incomplete. Not able to get it to go. The U will lose a timeout. Live by the challenge, die by the challenge. As the U will get the ball back, but burn a timeout. 32-6 now your score. Let's take a look again at the replay. Watch the pressure immediately. And Hammond got it right to Rios, but Rios was not expecting it that fast in that trajectory near the face region. But that's what a Gator Skin Shiesty is for. Get a Gator Skin Shiesty and get more protected now at GatorTech.com and use the code A7FL25. That's A7FL25 to get 10% off your Gator Skin today. Matt Ryan here with you in the fourth quarter. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. And don't worry, if you're afraid there's not more football, I've got great news for you. Coming up at 4 o'clock, me and Corey Hammond will be on the call. That's right, he's going to come up here and call football after being a human pinata for 3 hours, as he will join me as the Baltimore Watchmen in the Trenton BIC battle for first place in the A7FL Eastern Conference. For more information on how to join us live, head head on over to a7fl.com/watch. Surreal Wright will throw it off here. 14:34 left to go, but it's an untimed down for the Patterson U. And this will bounce out of play. It'll be Ron. And it'll be, I believe, Ron Butler returning it for Patterson. Rocking the number 6. The U lost the challenge, so they lost the timeout. The Hawks burned a timeout on their last drive here in the fourth quarter. Long drives have been the narrative so far today, except for the last 3 drives for the Paterson U. 4 straight drives, 3 yielding a touchdown, 1 yielding a interception. As it will be a dead ball return after the ball was thrown out of play. Clock will not run, but this man will. He will run from the 30-yard line. From the 25. It's got to go to the 25 on the fly. Or not go out of play. And now a chance for the U to score again. This time on an untimed down, and he is off to the races. Can he stay in bounds? He can. Can he keep him down? And that will be a bring. Another play by Tyshawn Robinson getting a stop. This time as the U will return on offense. 6 for 6, not that time. As it's Butler walking back to the sideline. 1st and 10 for Patterson. Williams so far on the day, really impressive. Over 50 yards running, over 40 yards passing. That's on 1 play each, and both yielding a touchdown. The dot boss, Markeith Williamson, out there along with Willie Easterling, a.k.a. Willie Mayweather, because he can walk an opponent down, much like his namesake. Looks like Butler will stay out there. 14-13 and counting as the clock returns to running. Here in Asbury Park, Matt Ryan here along with you. So glad you're spending your Sunday with us. Might be dreary on the East Coast, but we're keeping you light and happy with some football. Whether you're watching intently or in the background playing The Sims or plotting schemes, we're so glad you're joining us here. Williams 1 for 3, 33 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That one pass was his first pass on his first drive, on his second drive. Easterling with Butler set up at the bottom of your screen. Williams will keep it, and he is brought down. Too much trickeration in this dancery as the Hawks defense finally get a stop behind the line here in the fourth quarter. Garcia in on the sack. Let's take a look again at the replay. Looks like it took too long to do that exchange, and Williams was like, I'm going to run it, but that hole and window closed very quickly on the man who calls himself the human highlight. As this Hawks defense, it may be 32-6, but they have fought valiantly here in this one. Quick toss to Butler. Butler pushing his defender all the way to the sticks. And that is Robinson getting turned into a tackling machine. Gets pushed back near the first down marker. They'll mark him short. It'll be 3rd and 1. Correction, about 3rd and 2. As Patterson continues their momentum here, despite giving up a huge touchdown on the last drive from Corey Hammond to Robinson. .12:03 left to go. 32-6 is your score. As Patterson throws it, and shout out to misreading rosters, and can't wait to spend some time with you guys in the offseason. spend some time in the offseason taking a nap. I'll tell you, that's what I'm going to do. And 11:38 left to go. First and goal for Patterson. The U trying to walk this down as best as possible, which is why Mayweather's out there. $11:15 left to go. 3 on the line. The snap. Easterling keeps it easy into the end zone. Touchdown. Didn't work the last time, but this time it counts. Mayweather makes it 38-6. You can see the effects on that play might have came up a little gammy. Kenny Stansberry getting ready for our 4 o'clock game. Williamson in there. When it comes to championship points, getting it to a guy like Dot Boss as a tight end is definitely something you want to do, but he'll be sent wide here. Three on the line. The snap. The throw to the end zone. Caught! Gets it in there, but they will not consider it a catch. Dakari Mims not able to add that to the stat sheet, but it's 38-6 as Patterson not letting the Hawks get on a run here. They'll stifle that and get another 6 on the board, making it 38-6. But as we draw to a close, a little closer and closer. Great tip, and yeah, no. Ooh. That one tipped it in. Tapped the toes there. Whether or not that's a review or not, I don't know. And we are in review, it seems. He tips it. He catches it. Ooh. Eee. What do you guys think? It's no review. No review. He did not catch it. We'll take a brief timeout. And when we return here with the A7FL Games of the Week, the Hawks get the ball back. The U scoring, continuing their lead. We'll see what happens next. We're riding with you till 4 o'clock for reasons, and we want you to be a part of the conversation. Go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. Drop a comment, get a shout-out, and join us as the official chat of the A7FL. Matt Ryan here, solo dolo. Rob Fabian handling some family business, and Corey Hammond out on the field. And that one will bounce into the end zone. He catches it. It's a live ball. And a chance here for Zareel Wright. He gets past the first 2 defenders. Can he get past the third? No, he will dance his way out at the 32. Not bad field position, around the average field position for the Hawks so far this afternoon. Hammond and company will walk back out onto the field. as it will be 1st and 10. So far on the day, Robinson 7 receptions, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown coming from Cole Gardella. Shout out to Cole on stats. What will Hammond do with the 10.5 minutes left? We don't know. But we know at 4 o'clock we'll be live across the A7FL network, the Zone internationally. But if you're here in the States, you can head on over to Fox Soul, Triller TV Plus, Fight 24/7 by Triller, or A7FL.TV to join us live. But be sure to head on over to Locker Room Chat now so you can be a part of the conversation for the biggest remaining regular season game, or one of the biggest regular season games of the year. Is Zareel Wright continues to be the top man, not only for the Hawks offense, but also in haute couture in the league, as he gets more mending on his V-neck, and it will be 2nd down. Slight gain there with 9:51 left to go. It'll be 2nd and 6. Hammond's been dealing with pressure all afternoon. The snap, the throw, underneath, caught. Here's an opportunity for, I believe, Dadon, brought down emphatically, but enough to get the 1st down. As the Hawks, and as Yat Dadon on the reception. .922 and counting. Big play there. And that's another play. That's just a real right. Right drives through the 45. Can't get to the 1st down marker with 8:56 left to go. And that is Wright again. Hacking and slashing his way through, much like defenders have been to his uniform the last few weeks. That man has worn the wounds of this battle the last couple of weeks. Hammond now will be set up behind the line. 2nd and 2. The throw. Throws this one deep. Can he get there? He gets it because he pulled it in. And Tyshawn Robinson one more time with the big reception. Keeps it going for the Hawks on the 1st down. He is exhausted, but he is a warrior. Everyone on this Hawks team today, playing both sides of the ball for the most part, have been showing their drive, showing their intensity, showing their will to win, even against nearly impossible odds. But still being able to keep the game at 38-6. And gets it in there. Tyshawn Robinson showing resolve, and there's a false start on the offense. They'll go back for 5. And Hammond just shaking it, just like, what are you doing? I get you, brother. I get you. 38-6 your score. As Hammond and the Hawks look to get on the board at least one more time. In the 4th quarter, there is the possibility of the get back. If Hammond and company can score here, we'll explain more after the play. The throw to the end zone. Can he get there? He cannot. And it will be 2nd down. And word around the league is that the Silver State Stealth are reportedly bringing in cheerleaders. That's going to be interesting. And it leads me to the natural evolution of marching band, cheerleader, mascot. I want to know right now in a7fl.com/chat, I want to hear pitches for A7FL mascots. Funniest ones get mentioned on air. But don't be rude, don't be mean, and don't be stupid. A7fl.com/chat. That's A7fl.com/chat. Let us know what the league should be looking at for mascots next year. I will I will not be wearing a gigantic head as I already have one. To throw to Zuriel Wright on second down. Zuriel Wright gets past the initial line of scrimmage, gets a solid gain, will get called out at the 12, and it will be third down and not too far to go. Third and official with, depending upon the official. Does Hammond run it here? This one coming into me. Mascot McMascot face. That work would. I like that. And there's a big play. Zuriel Wright gets the first down, runs out of play inside the 5. They'll mark him out exactly at the 5. It'll be first and goal with 5:24 and counting. And Wright, his jersey turning into a metaphor for an hourglass. As stitches go away from the jersey, so does time in this game, and so do the days of our lives. If you are playing the beverage game at a7fl.com/chat, I just gave you a big boost. The throw to the end zone. Hammond can't bring it in. He had it, and then he dropped it. Couldn't hold on. So it will be second down. And another opportunity for Yatta Don. Not able to hold on to it on a slippery day here in Asbury Park. Fumbles on, after that fumble on the Umar Lewis thing earlier in the game. Let's take a look at the replay. Ooh, he just couldn't get the other hand around it. Had one hand, couldn't bring it down. Third and goal. Hammond in trouble. Rolls, throws, incomplete. It'll be fourth and goal. Oh, pardon me, third and goal. 3:58 left to go. The sticks and the scoreboard were in a little bit of a confluence. If Zuriel Wright gets 2 more receptions, he will tie the single-game reception record. That is just impressive. An impressive day from a guy who has deserved his flowers in this league. D-Mac will step in. Late ad here for the Hawks. Third and goal. Clock running. And the whistle. It is fourth down. It is fourth and goal. According to the sticks, it is fourth and goal. .322 and counting as we await for what that seemed like a warning from the officials. The screen on third down. That's in there. Wright gets it in. Touchdown, Hawks. 1 reception away from the record. Zuriel Wright crosses the end zone, makes it 38-12. And it was on third down. Zuriel Wright off the quick throw from Hammond. 1 reception away from tying the modern reception record, joining a list of some of the best wide receivers in the history of the A7FL, or just the best A7FL receivers this season. Let's take a look again at the replay. Quick screen, quick set, great blocks there, and just slides right on into the end zone. Butler trying to pull the ball out, but not enough to stop Wright from crossing into the end zone and getting the Hawks into double digits. And that's back-to-back games with 10-plus receptions for Zuriel Wright. Got to be impressed with this guy right here today. Corey's first, congratulations to Corey Hammond, his first 300-plus yard game since 2022. That is a big day for Hammond, over 300 yards passing. We'll take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more action after this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. A7FL Games of the Week back here on A7FL.tv. And folks, if you want to unlock the potential of your video, of your content, go to our friends over at Scene. They have the tools needed for interactive AI video management and monetization. Scan the QR code now, or, well, go to SEEN.com. That's SEEN.com. As Ron Butler looks to take this one to the house, 38-12. And Butler, 6 for 6. It's on the back of his jersey, and it's a guarantee. Nobody beats the Butler. And the Butler gets in there. Ron Butler runs into the end zone, whether or not that play counted. 30, and that is a touchdown for Ron Butler. Runs this one in expeditiously as the dead ball run proves deadly for the Hawks. Take a look again at the replay. Bounced around inside the 20. And then, wait for it, wait for it. Goodbye, sir. No need to huss. Not even a huss. Not even a huss. Just glides right on in. That touchdown will stand as the U will continue their lead. .311. Unsure of the color of the energy of the Patterson U, but not sure if it's amber right now. Certainly running hot for certain. Timeout called by the Hawks as they're preparing to go for the extra point. Unsure why a timeout would be called, but Williams under center going for 2 from the 10. They got the Hawks got the opposite of a get back there. The snap, Williams tosses it back on the back stack. And it seems like, yep, that is Butler running it in for the extra points. And Butler off the back stack after the 3-on-1 return gets into the end zone to make it 46-12. As Ron Butler put the Hawks' defense and special teams into a blender as he rendezvous with the end zone one more time to make it 46-12. Dreary day in Asbury Park, but coming up at the top of the hour, we will have the BIC and the Watchmen facing off in our A7FL Games of the Week. If you want to be a part of the conversation, go to a7fl.com/chat, download the Locker Room Chat app now, and come say hi. Come call me ass. I don't know. Say hi. I'm talking to myself here. And we are awaiting the 3-on-1 return. And the clock continuing to run here in Asbury Park with not a lot of time left and not a lot of opportunity. And Hammond and the Hawks offense awaiting to return to the field. And it will be Butler returning to the scene of the crime where he just scored a touchdown on a return as he will throw this one out. This one will get us into our 2-minute warning. Ball's off the hands of the returner. That is the real Wright. Wright trying to do something, trying to be flashy, and that will be one of his lesser returns of the day. Gets it to the 25, and it will be a 1st and 10. No 2-minute warning. We will ride this one till the end. So real Wright, one catch away from tying the modern reception record. Coming up immediately after this, before our 4 o'clock game, we'll get you ready with a look around the A7FL as we'll go in motion. That'll happen immediately following the end of this game. And then we'll join you back here at 4 o'clock with the BIC and the Watchman. Minute 9 now. Watch Hammond try to launch this one deep as the rain continues to power through here in Asbury Park. Looks like it's coming down again. As you can see the sheets of rain. Hammond going to the towel, unsure if the towel will help, unlike the goggles. Will they do nothing? Hammond will keep it. Corey Hammond will carry the ball, and he will get past the 45, but that will be knocked out of play and help Hammond get across the 50. Hammond having a little bit of fun out there. Unsure of what his 2026 will be, but if this is the last regular season game for Corey Hammond, he went out like a warrior, throwing over 300 yards. And here just deciding, I'm just going to run. I'm going to run with it. My hand's dinged up. It's raining. I can't throw this thing. I'm just going to trot. And then the honey badger knocking that ball out. And this will probably be the last play of the game. And Hammond will snap it. He'll hand it off. And this one will be over. Ball will bounce out, and the Hawks will walk out under 500. And the Patterson U will be the 6th seed. Quite possibly the lowest seed the U have had in the A7FL playoffs, especially in the modern era of the A7FL. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll get you in motion. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are. Welcome back to A7FL's Games of the Week. We're going to get you ready for our 4 o'clock matchup with the Watchman and the BIC. But I do believe we have some stats that we can go through. But at 4 o'clock, we'll go through some of the scenarios and some of the possibilities for the winner of our 4 o'clock game and the loser of our 4 o'clock game, as that decides the 1 seed between the BIC and the Watchman. And that one will be live right here on A7FL.TV and also on DAZN internationally. And we'll be back at the top of the hour. Enjoy A7FL in motion. Clear. A7FL in motion. I'm Matt Ryan, and this edition of the show, we're going to take a look at Week 6 as the Silk City Animals showed their depth on the field. We saw how the Stealth and Sick With It dealt with the options of the Gold and the Hunters. And also, we're going to take a look at what is ahead of us in the 2025 playoffs. All that starts right here, right now. But first, it's time for the highlights. Animals versus the Hawks in our first game of the day. David Tender out, CJ in, and that one over to Isaiah Gonzalez on the first drive of the day for the Animals to make it 6-0. Then on the extra point, Johnson to Wingo. Larry Wingo putting 2 points on the board to make it 8-0. Later on in the first half, second quarter now, Johnson stepping up, stepping around, getting it underneath to Gonzalez, the Rookie of the Year candidate, continuing to be nearly impossible to tackle. Johnson in place of Tender, Omari Thomas in place of Kwani Morgan, as Omari making anybody who passed up on him feel sorry. He gets into the end zone, 12-0, and then at halftime, you see the stats, it was close, 14-0. Some people would have had this game a little further away for the Hawks, but Corey Hammond here in the fourth quarter to Zuriel Wright, the first man to ever wear a V-neck jersey and pull in a tutty, makes it 14-6, keeping the Hawks within shouting distance. But later on in the fourth quarter, Johnson whips this one. Wingo gets the winged ball and gives them the lead, making it a two-score game as the Animals would start to pull away here. And then on the extra point, Johnson to Manny Diaz. Another big catch for that young man. He has been a key for this offense, but Wingo with a schoolyard play. Surprised he caught the ball, surprising the defenses, and guiding himself into the end zone to make it a 27-6, 21-point difference as we see Bebo Rios in. He gets it to Zuriel Wright with under 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Zuriel Wright would slip, he would slide, he would take it to the house for his second touchdown of the afternoon, but that one would not be enough as the Animals would cruise into the playoffs with a 27-14 win over the Hawks. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference right now. BIC at the top of the heap. The Animals and Watchmen in second and third, both with 4-1. The Renegades at 4-2. The QC crushing the 5 spot at 3-3. We'll talk more about that Watchmen and BIC matchup later. Next week on the show, you might see 1-3 flipped, depending on how our game of the week goes. I'm excited to see how that one turns out. On the other side of the playoff bracket, or the Eastern Conference bracket at that matter, the U at 2-3, the Heathens at 2-3, the Hawks at 2-3. They are right there in a playoff spot. The Octane are 1-5, and the Buzz are 0-6. So far in the 2025 A7FL season, heading into our final week of play this Sunday. And it'll be interesting to see how the playoff bracket shakes up as we head into our schedule for Week 7. We start off the day with the Heathens and the Silk City Animals. The Old Bridge Hawks taking on the Paterson U. The Vegas Stealth taking on the Hunters. The Gold taking on the Insomniacs and Nevada Knockout action. We'll have more on that later. And then we end our day with the Trenton BIC and the Baltimore Watchmen having their showdown for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. And folks, if you want to learn more about this schedule or learn more about any of our teams in the A7FL, that Hawks U matchup certainly going to be one to keep an eye on, especially as we head into action this Sunday on A7FL.tv. You can find out more by going to A7FL.com/schedule. That's A7FL.com/schedule, and we'll have our playoff bracket up there as soon as we get out of Week 7. When we return here on A7FL in motion, we take a trip out west where the Stealth and the Gold faced off on a Sunday matinee before Sick With It would turn the Hunters into the Hunted. All of this plus a look at the BIC and the Watchmen showdown for the top spot in the East, playoff possibilities, and how much French onion soup can you actually fit into a bathtub? These questions and more are answered, maybe, after the break. It's the final week of the regular season in the A7FL, and two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference settle things on the games of the week. Will it be Kason Campbell, Ashante Worthy, Sterry Codrington, and the Trenton BIC walking into the playoffs with an undefeated record? Or will the Baltimore Watchmen of Nick Mays, John Gauze Jr., and Marcellus Pack find a way to get to the top of the heap? For more information, go to a7fl.com/watch. This is A7FL in motion. I'm Matt Ryan, and Deloney for the Gold was in motion for 19 yards to give them the lead early on in the second quarter. Later on, for the Stealth, it'd be Justin Shepard, Cool Case Way, finding his way into the end zone, tying it up 6 apiece. They'd get the extra point. No, they wouldn't get the extra point, but Ricky Figueroa would find the end zone and give the Gold the lead with under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Next drive for the Stealth, it's G. Hurd to Martell Riles as he finds his way into the end zone, modeling a tie, but it would soon be a lead for the Stealth heading into halftime. And then in the third quarter, G. Hurd would rush on into the house. It's always thick boy season in the A7FL, and the former OTT QB putting the Stealth in the lead 20-12. And then Smith would find a way on a broken play to slip slide and get this game 20-18. And then on the extra point, it would be an opportunity for the Gold to tie this one up, and somehow, someway, gets it there. That's Anderson to Ricky Figueroa, making it 20-20. But here's where the Gold would find themselves slipping away, as the Stealth would find themselves sleeking off into the night with the win. As even though it would be 20-20 on the very next drive, the Gold would find themselves once again turning in the pyrite, as it would be Fulamea to Valu Jr. launching this one from the 45, and they would take the lead, and the Stealth would not let go of it as they would continue their impressive debut season here in the A7FL. They may have 2 losses on the season, but as we enter the Nevada knockout, they would walk out with a 48-20 victory, solidifying their place as the number 3 team in the Western Conference. And while the Stealth would get the win over the Gold would get some points on the board. And in our Game of the Week matchup, it would be Sick with it starting things off against the Hunters. And first drive from scrimmage, the ball comes loose and the ball comes out, and the Hunters get up and poach that ball out. May not be a long gain. They may not have been able to turn the tide early on, not able to score on that first drive. So Sickwit gets the ball back. Stone King launches this one. Siobhan Richardson gets it in there, slip slide. Sickwit takes a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. Stone King so far in his rookie season, impressive. Steps up and then gets on his bicycle. Another big run, a guy who had to step into the shoes of Jeremy Geary, who was the first starting quarterback for this team dating back to 2 seasons ago. But the young man stepping up and stepping in as a leader on this offense. Later on the drive, Stone King gets it over to Justin Shepard. And one more time to Siobhan Richardson. This would be their 3rd touchdown of the day, the 2nd for Richardson on the day. And it would be 20-0. The Hunters taking a early lead, a emphatic early lead against the Hunters, as the offense could not find a way to get anything moving this past Sunday. And we go back to the running game. That's Matt Murphy punching his ticket into the end zone, and Sickwit's offense showing no signs of slowing down. Stone King would come out, new quarterback in, new opportunities in, and they pile on the points some more, as it would be 36-0. The Hunters fearing the self-loathing and the fear as this game would get deeper into the third quarter. And just Sickwit feeling and gliding as they prepare for a matchup in our Western Conference Final Four We'll have more about the Nevada knockout in a moment. Speaking of knockout, this was the knockout blow. Deion Southern off the pick gets himself 6 as Sick would continue to put a preponderance of points, and they would need to go to our friends over at Tape Me Up. And if you want to get a little bit of taping up, if you need your cleats spatted, head on over to our friends at Tape Me Up by going to tapemeup.net. But on the 3-on-1, the returner for the Hunters certainly needed the ball taped to his hands. As we see here, he's deep in his own end zone. Ball gets stripped up, picked upon, and that would get Sick with it to 50. And we would see them score on all sides of the ball. A rare trifecta, as Sick with it scored on offense, defense, and special teams. And they would not stop there. They would not stop at 50. Sick with its offense looking to prove a point, as they would get one more chance at it. On a 3-on-1, the untimed down was timed due to the score difference, but it'd be Zachary Scrione returning it here. Not your usual returner for Sick with it, but turning on the Jets, nearly getting to the end zone, but would get caught up by the cleats inside the 5 and give Sick with it one more chance to run this one on in, showing the power of that run game, the versatility and depth at running back for Sick with it, showing and proving that a 56-0 victory might be light work for this Sick with it offense. But they have a lot of work to do to make sure that they are playing on June 22nd in our national championship game. They are 4-1 behind the defending back-to-back-to-back champion Insomniacs. The Silver State Stealth at 3-2, the Gold at 1-4, the Hunters at 0-5, and it's Nevada knockout this Sunday. It's Gold and the Stealth, Insomniacs versus the Gold, and then on May 18th, it's the Gold and Sick with it, and then the Hunters battling the Insomniacs. Those games lead to June 8th with our Final Four. For more information, go to A7FL.com. We'll be back with your playoff panel after this. It's the final week of the regular season in the A7FL, and two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference settle things on the games of the week. Will it be Kason Campbell, Ashante Worthy, Sterry Codrington, and the Trenton BIC walking into the playoffs with an undefeated record? Or will the Baltimore Watchmen of Nick Mays, John Gauze Jr., and Marcellus Pack find a way to get to the top of the heap? For more information, go to a7fl.com/watch. Welcome back to A7FL in Motion. I'm Matt Ryan, Alex, Zach, Cole, and Corey Hammond joining us on the program. But I'm going to start with my friend and yours, Zach Morgan. Zach, when it comes to the Trenton BIC, if you're watching this team for the first time, there are three definitive names to talk about. That's Sterry Codrington and then his two wide receivers, Ashante Worthy and Kason Campbell. Give us the case for those three guys heading into this Sunday.
Sterry Codrington is your reigning MVP in this league for a very good reason, and he's coming out and looking for that second MVP for possibly a string of who knows how many we could see. Sterry Codrington currently leads the league in not only passing yards and passing touchdowns, but it's at a disgusting rate. We're looking at a 22-0 touchdown to interception ratio. You heard that right. And yeah, a lot of it is he's got two of the best receiving targets in the league today, and they are Kason Campbell, who, as you said, is a big threat, leads the league in all three receiving categories for receiving yards, touchdowns, and catches, and he's looking at a possible triple crown. And then to top it off, just as an added bonus, you have Ashante Worthy, who, yeah, he can do his damage receiving. We've seen it this year, but he is as deadly as they come on the returns. We've seen him attempt about 17 times. On those 17 return attempts, he's put in 2 touchdowns and 638 yards. It all starts with those three guys, and if Baltimore wants any chance, they not only have to worry about who we just talked about, but there are names that are possibly out there that we have not seen suit up for the BIC this season that could show up on Sunday.
And we've seen Corey Hammond, some effective defense from the Trenton BIC as well, but you've seen the Baltimore Watchmen so far this season really find themselves again later in the regular season Marcellus Pack, a former BIC player, making his return to Baltimore, a dynamic returner, much like Ashante Worthy, such a Swiss Army knife. But what are the things you need to see from Baltimore to get to see them fight for what is the top spot in the Eastern Conference? The winner of this game, the winner of the BIC and the Watchmen, is the #1 seed heading into next week's playoffs. What are you expecting and what do you need to see from Baltimore?
Well, I think it's going to start with the quarterback position. What we saw the last time they were featured on Games of the Week, the Watchmen came in with one guy, John Gauze, healthy, and he played not necessarily a dominant performance against the Renegades, but definitely a clutch performance, winning the game in the end with heroics that remind me of 2018. We also could see Rokeem Chaney back healthy, the other quarterback for the Watchmen. And I think if I were in charge of that team, I would want it to just be the one guy they feel most comfortable with. Because BIC's defense has quietly let up a lot of passing yards to good quarterbacks this year. Week 1 against Anthony Service, I think he was like 11 for 15, tons of yards, and had the game-winning 2-point conversion in his receiver Richardson's hands. It just got dropped. And then you look at what David Tender did a couple weeks ago. They're very good in the back end at BIC, but they're maybe vulnerable. If the Watchmen want to win this game, I think it's going to be on the arms of their two great quarterbacks, choosing one and going with the hot hand.
And Cole, taking a look at this as someone who purely looks at the numbers at this league, you crunch almost every single stat we can glom together every single week on this show and on Games of the Week. What are the things you're looking at? What are the things you're looking forward to from both sides heading into Sunday?
I think one of the main things I'm looking at is just the overall connections between the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. On the Watchmen, they don't have obviously as good as their wide receiver duo as BIC, no offense, with Ashante and Kason, but they got Hefe Jones and they got, of course, Marcellus Pack, who was on BIC last year, housed 7 return touchdowns, reigning returner of the year. I'm looking at those guys. I'm also looking at all the D lines because both BIC and